Are you one of those people who are suffering from the squirts? That diarrhea that just doesn't quit. Well, in this video today, we will talk about what it causes explosive diarrhea or bubble guts. And at the very end of the video, I'll give you my tips as your bubble guts and bubble squirts guru on what I recommend to fix massive diarrhea. Guys, let's literally, yes, literally talk about food. Howdy y'all, Dr. Samir here, aka your poop guru, trying to give you the best tips and tricks to help out with your health. If you haven't already, don't forget to smash that like button, like, share, and subscribe. And if you haven't already, don't forget to subscribe to a weekly newsletter where you can get great tips and tricks to help out with gut issues, including those bubble guts. All right, on the occasional basis, some of us have diarrhea, pain, constipation, but there are those times when you've got the squirts, you got really massive diarrhea, you don't know exactly what's going on. It's like you're peeing out of your bottom. Oh my goodness, it can be such an embarrassing thing to have, and it can be very scary to suffer from this. What are causes of very significant diarrhea? Number one, it could be a condition called irritable bowel syndrome or IBS. Now, IBS is a real disease. It's not in your head. You are not going crazy, I promise you. And anyone who tells you that is a liar. Yes, they are a liar. Now, a lot of people suffer from IBS, and whenever you're having diarrhea, you have what's called IBS-D. D for diarrhea. Duh. Yes, Captain Obvious, but yes, D for diarrhea. And sometimes if your IBS acts up, you can have worsening diarrhea where you, as soon as you eat, you gotta go, or you're feeling the urge to go and you can't wait, or you have those squirts, and even at times you can have accidents that occur. The second most common reason to have these bubble guts is an infection. Now, it's not a typical bacterial infection, but actually a viral infection. Yes, a viral infection or a gastroenteritis. This can cause massive diarrhea. This can cause pain. It can cause you to have to use the restroom very, very quickly and have urgency as well. Number three, it could be something that you ate, something that doesn't fit right with you. Maybe it's spoiled. Maybe it's not cooked right. Maybe it has something that doesn't agree with your digestive tract. Whenever you have diarrhea from this is your body's reaction to that particular ingredient. It doesn't like it, it doesn't absorb it, and it wants to get it out of your system. Number four, you could have a condition called small intestinal bacterial overgrowth or SIBO. Now, SIBO is a bacterial infection in which you have too much bad guys overwhelming the good guys, and when those bad guys win out, it causes diarrhea, bloating, distension, flatulence, belching, and farting, all the above and many, many more. And when you have these bad bacteria act up, especially if you have a worsening state like this can cause massive diarrhea to occur and cause just a miserable time. It sucks. And then number five, it could be food sensitivities. Now, this is different from actually getting an infection and different from eating something that's spoiled. Some people have sensitivities to certain foods. So for example, me, I can't take dairy. It is terrible. Woo-wee! When I have dairy, I am just a mess. My wife hates me. My kids are not happy. And it's not a good sight. Now, other people could have food sensitivities to dairy. Maybe it's gluten. It could be wheat. It could be sugar alcohols. Sometimes even alcohol themselves. There are certain foods that some people just can't digest, and it causes massive diarrhea. Now that we talked about what causes really bad diarrhea, here are my tips on what I recommend to fix the diarrhea and nip it in the bud. Yes, that was my crazy joke. Wait, I should have said nip it in the butt. Nip it in the butt. Wait, I don't even know if that makes sense. Hey, I want to thank you for watching. If you're getting value from this video, I really would appreciate it if you smash that like button and comment it down below. Number one, get checked for an infection. Now, a viral gastroenteritis is the most common reason to have a really bad episode of diarrhea. Now, not every lab can check for a viral infection in your stool. Some labs can't, some labs can. Now, The good thing about a viral infection is that it does not last typically any longer than 3 or 4 days. The other good thing about a viral infection is that it does not need antibiotics. I need to stress this. Antibiotics do not kill viruses, so don't ask for one unless you actually have a bacterial infection. Now, if you happen to have a bacterial infection, okay, there we go. All right. Then you may need a antibiotic. It really just depends on your clinical condition, what infection do you have, and whether you have any comorbid medical conditions that would make it more likely for you to benefit from an antibiotic. Tip number 2, use over-the-counter anti-diarrhea medications, things like Imodium, Lamodal, which is prescribed. These are very effective anti-diarrhea medications to help block that diarrhea and literally nip it in the butt. Wait, maybe nip it in the butt. Yes, nip it in the butt. Number 3, try drinking water with lemon, even hot water with lemon. Now, this is my little trick that I recommend because it can help out with cramping, pain, to help soothe the gut and allow things to pass a little bit easier. It keeps you hydrated. It also gives you electrolytes as well. Now, you may want to add some peppermint to that as well. It's an added bonus tip from your poop guru. Peppermint has been shown to help out with gut issues, pain, bloating, dissension. So if you're having a lot of cramping with that as well, adding some peppermint to your hot water or regular water will make that better. Number 4, go on a bland diet. This is not the time to go crazy with Mexican food. This is not the time to have those buffalo wings. No, no, no. You need to be on a bland diet. Bread, water, no processed foods, no dairy foods, no fried foods. Chill out, guys. Have something simple and easy that's good for your gut. Number 5, avoid sugary drinks, caffeine, alcohol, carbonated drinks. Yes, those Cokes and 7-Ups. Don't do that, guys. And foods that are overly sweet and foods that may be high in fiber. This is not the time when I want you to increase your fiber. No. Now, I stress that fiber is the backbone for gut health. But if you're having a really acute episode of bad diarrhea, this is not the time to do that. Get over the diarrhea and then implement the dietary options I always recommend. Now, number 6, you may want to consider having yogurt with live culture. Now, there is some evidence that having probiotics, maybe in a yogurt or even a probiotic pill, can help out with an acute diarrhea episode. And I am all for that. You know me, I will give you information and guidelines based on actual evidence. And this is one of the very few times when we actually have some evidence that taking a probiotic will help out with gut issues when we're having acute diarrhea illness. Consider trying this, see if it helps out to make things a little bit better as well. And these are my tips that I recommend when you're having that diarrhea, having those squirts, you don't know what to do to help out with those issues. My question today for you guys, what would you add to this list? What would you subtract? What has been your experience with using these options? Comment down below. I would love to hear what you guys have to say. I want to thank you for watching. Don't forget to smash that like button. You know you want to. Like, share, and subscribe. And if you haven't already, don't forget to subscribe to a weekly newsletter where you can get awesome tips just like you're learning in this video. Guys, I hope you have a happy and healthy day. And don't forget, here it is. Let's talk about poop. Thanks, everybody. And if you are one of those millions of people who are suffering from gut issues, I want you to click this playlist right here where you get my tips on what you can do to help out with your gut.